Alrighty guys, hello and welcome back to another cast. So it's a 5v5 going down on Selkie Isle, is I believe how you pronounce it. We're going to call this team 1 up at the top, this team 2 down at the bottom, just so that the Supreme Scoreboard over here agrees with me. You guys have no idea how much I lean on this thing as a caster. It's really hard to just remember 10 people's names immediately whenever you load into a game. So this is a godsend. If the maker of the Supreme Scoreboard is watching this cast, this is incredible. Thank you so much for building it out. And shout out to all of the people that make mods for Supreme Commander. Anyway, moving on, let's go ahead and introduce our players. We'll start with the island positions. So we have Free MP, who is playing UEF, going first land. Moving to the west, we have Ilya, who is going Cybrid, opening first land. To his east, we have Zillow7, who's going Seraphim, opening first air. I wonder if that's the guy who started Zillow. If so, can you please up the value on my house? That would be awesome. Next, we've got WSS, who is going Cybrin, opening first land. Got to work on the Hydro. And last, for team number 1, we have the boss of this gym, who's going UEF, opening first air. Is that Brock? Is that Misty? I'm not sure. He's got like a gray color going on, so I'm thinking it's Brock. Maybe he'll bust out an Onyx and just go rampaging throughout the map here at one point or another. But anyway, moving on to team number 2. Going with the island position, we have McNeil, who is going Aeon and opening first and second land. Makes sense in his position. McNeil is actually a name of a relatively major street in Austin. This is the city of my origin. Next, we have Front Kohler, who is going Seraphim, opening first land. Looks like he's going second air. Lots of power queued up. Continuing with our easterly trajectory, we have Lemedine, who is going Aeon, open first air, second land. And next we have Noroki, who is going Cybrin, and he opened first land, moving out in his on his way to help his buddy McNeil here secure the central island. And last but not least, in this game, we have Iconics. We can expect some iconic play coming out of him, if you know what I mean. He opened first land. Looks like he's going to go second, third, and fourth air. Maybe second land. I don't know. This is a pretty big air grid, though, that is getting queued up here for some T1 action. While everything is getting kicked off, this replay was sent into the Fortune Alliance Forever replay channel on the FAF Discord. So I do check for replays there. This is a really, really cool replay. I'm actually super excited to cast this replay as I was watching it. My big ask, though, is that if you guys are going to send replays, and this is for any caster everywhere, every caster is going to appreciate this. Load into the replay after you play the game and check it for desyncs, because there are times whenever it might not desync whenever you're in the game playing, but the replay will actually desync. And there were 3 or 4 games where I was like really, really excited to cast them as I was going through, and they desynced. Like there was one that was like an epic comeback that was like starting to happen, and I was really, really excited, and then I was really sad whenever it desynced. So do myself and other casters a favor, if you don't mind, and double check those. Meanwhile, Free MP is getting hit by Iconics with a couple of labs here on that central island. And there's not just a couple. There's like 8, 9, 10 labs or so that are making their way up to Free MP's forward position. So that's going to cause some problems. Engineers will die. There will be civilian casualties. We will shed a tear for them. Luckily, this engineer makes it. So this first little raiding party bags 1 engineer down on that side of the map. Or on the western side of the island, and then that's about all it was able to do. Some early bomber aggression out from Front Kohler as well. So Front Kohler vectoring in on what I'm guessing is this engineer here with that Sinve. I'll check back on that in a second as another couple of engineers go down to the flares here from McNeil. The flare infestation, and that engineer will go down. 2 mechs is up, but Ilya is not going to be super excited about that one because it will take a little bit of time to get that engineer over there. Similarly, though, we have a good amount of bomber aggressiveness coming out from aggression, not aggressiveness. That's pretty aggressive. Coming out from WSS as well as the boss of this gym. Moving in on some of the engineers here for Iconics. Where it would look like 2 get bagged here. And we'll see where this Scorcher is going to go. There is an anti-air turret. So each of these bombers grab a couple of kills, but will get shot down before they can turn around and make a second pass. These engineers, though, that are a little bit further out might not be quite as lucky, though, as Zeus comes over from WSS, bags 2 of them. So that's 6 engineers. And last bomber, I think, from boss of this gym is going to turn around and go hit something else. Potentially going to go after this engineer, grabbing the 3-mex expansion on this island. He's already got the expansion, so he's really only going to lose out on the reclaim. 500 reclaim. Not counting the trees, but still. I think tree reclaim is a little bit undervalued. Because it doesn't show up on the reclaim counter. All you see are rocks. Like if you zoom in here, none of these trees have any reclaim value. But they do actually have reclaim value. It's not a lot, but it is some. Some is better than nothing. In the middle, Free MP has gotten tired of these flares. Does it take 2 calm shots to kill a flare? Oh wow, it does. That makes the flare way stronger than the other labs. Pretty sure all the other labs only take 1 shot to kill. I don't know if it makes them like way stronger, but it definitely makes them stronger. A little bit of harass here as well, coming in from Zillow. Zillow did not approve the sale of this real estate. Actually, don't know if Zillow does that. But either way, T1 units are also clashing on the middle island. There is a PD here from Free MP that will be a good backstop against the T1 units here from McNeil. So Free MP, I think he's in an okay position. He's having to deal with the odd raid every now and then, but is keeping it real. McNeil is actually going for T2 PD here. Bomber dies right there, but going for T2 PD actually to clear out this this little base. You can do that with this with artillery. T2 PD might be a little bit of an overcommitment there, but and then again, there's a good amount of reclaim here, so being able to hold it with T2 PD for strategic reasons might not be the worst idea in the world. And Zillow already going to T2 Navy. That was pretty quick. So he has just pretty much straight up rushed T2 Navy. Also got a T2P gen up. And I don't think that there's any T2 Navy. Oh, we've got an upgrade here from Naroki. But it's all T1 and producing T1 outside of that upgrade. So might have a little bit of a window of opportunity here as bombers end up harassing McNeil's T1 units. Does have some MAA in there, does have some thistles. Thistles are pretty spiky, and planes don't like spikes. I'm a little confused on this PD creep though, into the neutral base. You could have even just walked your comm in there with overcharge and gotten it, but you can't read their minds. T2 on the way for the boss of this gym. And so we might be looking to get aggressive here. Move up and drop a little fire base. Put some pressure on Iconics. This game does start off a little bit slow. But there are a couple of things that are just absolute gold in this game. Let's check in with our air players. So we are up to T3 air from Lemadine, pushing out some shockers. That's a pretty quick T3 air upgrade, honestly. So we're at just ticking up to 9 minutes now. And the shocker is 75% of the way done. He's probably power stalling pretty heavily. Or not. Nope, he's mass stalling. That's mitigating the power stall. That's the way to do it. To avoid an energy crisis, make sure that you have no building materials. At least that's what my daddy told me whenever I was young. And our opposing air player has gone for a little bit more T2 action, so we're getting some cormorants out. T2 torpedo bomber, making the jump to T3 air right now, but he is going to be a little bit more effective and have a little bit better ability to hold the seas here for team number 1. T2 now on the way for Naroki, as McNeil, sorry, is grabbing some of the tree clumps and other reclaim, and Naroki is going to settle for the Rex. I hate to say this to you, McNeil, but I think you got the raw end of that deal. Trees or Rex, I think you got the raw end of that deal, buddy. I'm sorry. We've all been on the receiving end of that one. Okay, strat is out. First target of opportunity is the TMD or the TML facilities there for boss of this gym, and we will follow it intently as it actually veers around. Excuse me, veers around and going after the T2 power generator, maybe. Yep, T2 power generator. Needs to keep that thing moving, though. Could probably take out a lot of T2 mexes with that early strat, as I don't believe there are any ASF on the field. But doesn't want it wheeling around and running into interceptor fire. Although boss of this gym is currently getting pelted, and interceptors are now having to deal with a corona. The nasty little viruses that they are. And boss of this gym's going to take another bomb to the face, dropping several railguns. And I don't think that strat's going to get another pass. I think the interceptors will be able to clean it up, maybe, or not. Nope, they got it. A couple of the ones that are out of fuel got it. There's a lesson, kids. Make sure that you let your interceptors run out of fuel so that they can capture running away strats, or they can shoot down running away strats. This middle island, though, is looking like a rough spot for Free MP here. He has no control over the middle. He's lost his 2 mex expansion. He's missing one of these mexes as well. So that's not a fantastic position to be in. He is at T2 land, but so is his opponent. So he doesn't have anything really to fall back on in terms of tech either. But Naroki is very intent on putting together a fire base here in the middle. So you got a shield generator that's upgrading, getting some flak down, as well as some TMD. All good stuff, all good stuff. I'm now starting to see ASFs begin to build up here for Le Madine. And are we making ASFs yet? Okay, so we are starting to get some Gemini out. I don't think there's one on the field yet, so that'll be the first one. So a little bit of an air disadvantage right now. But hopefully WSS took that into account. Might be a little bit ahead in terms of eco, so he's up to 1 T3 max, making a move to another one at 80%. Let's look at Le Madine. So Le Madine not working with a T3 Mex right now. Okay, so Le Madine, I think, has gone a little bit more of an aggressive build here. Gone for that early strat coming off the line and sacrificed a little bit of eco. So we'll see how that plays out. But right now he needs to push his early air advantage to make sure that WSS and the other players on Team 1 can't maintain air control. We do have an Etuala out from Zillow. That is taking pot shots at these T1 units using the Seraphim cruise missiles. What's funny is every volley has to pick its unique target. Similarly, down here, Boss of this gym is dealing with TML crisis of his own, with several buzz kills up. Shouldn't need a whole lot to deal with the Seraphim cruisers because one volley does deal with tactical missile, unlike the UEF where you need 2 volleys. And now we're starting to see Gemini on the field there for WSS, as there is a Zooey raid from front Polar. Gonna bag some forward radar, a couple mexes, just generally being a nuisance of himself. To Ilya, or Ilya? Ilya. Let's go with Ilya. Sounds like Iliad. I like that. And in the middle position, still fortifying, getting stealth, building more factories, building more defenses. Let's look at, so we're getting some naval commitment here. We've seen that front polar is at T2 Navy with that cruiser. I'm curious what the eco looks like for these guys. So we're making the jump to a T3 Mex there. And what about on Iconic's side? So we're also making a jump to a T3 Mex. Looking at the Supreme scoreboard here, 222, 223 to 213. So roughly 10k mass advantage there for team number 2. So they got about a 5% lead in terms of overall mass generated, which in the grand scheme of things is not insurmountable. Team number 1 is very much still in this, even though they're a little bit on the back foot right now. A lot of that is undoubtedly due to the fact that they lost this central reclaim there that Naroki and McNeil so studiously vacuumed up. Now everybody's getting up to T2 Navy, so T2 Navy there for Ilya. And not a whole lot of naval presence on the eastern side of the map for team number 1. We do have a T2 factory there for boss of this gym that's currently sitting idle. And even WSS, the air player, getting into the naval game here. So his mass will be a little bit split there, dividing it between air and navy. But let's look at how our air players have shaken out over the last 5 minutes or so since we looked. So 13 ASF for Le Medine, and for WSS we're up to 10. So WSS definitely benefiting from that kind of rubber band effect by having a couple of mexes up to T3 pretty quickly, and is allowing him to narrow the gap pretty quickly on Le Medine in terms of early air control. So might be a missed opportunity there for team number 2 to inflict some serious damage. T2 for Naroki in the Navy. Not a whole lot of infrastructure on the land, focusing a lot on the Navy. Airlifting engineers somewhere. But most of the action right now is just kind of centered on this standoff. Actually, there is a little bit of a push here from 3MP. Has some Lobos and some Pillars making moves, making waves. But they'll get mopped up by the Obsidians and the Auroras in hot pursuit. At least I think they will be. Might get this D2 Mex before they go down. Alright, so T2 Mexes. A little bit of a consolation prize for that little run by. Not the end of the world. Though for McNeil, and McNeil actually looking to wall off his sides of the island to prevent future run-bys like that. And now Azillo's Navy is running tail tucked between its legs away from front Kohler as well as Naroki's Navy. So at this point in the game, it's looking like Navy is going to be rough for Team 1. Air might be a wash, but the middle island is also not looking super good right now. So team number one need to put together a plan here on how they're going to get back. They're going to kind of get back into this game. It's not, as far as like win percentages, like I don't know if this is accurate at all, but it's not like, it's not a big disparity. It's not like, okay, there's a 90% chance that the Southern team is going to win. I'm talking like, it's like 55, 45, or like 53, 47, something like that. I'm having trouble doing math in my head quickly for whatever reason. But right now they've got to figure out an answer to this Navy that is causing problems on their shorelines, on really both sides, even with Ilya's commander singular coming under threat now from the destroyers and cruisers for Front Kohler as well as Naroki. And there's going to be 2 naval yards down, and really only 2 destroyers there to help there from Zillow. That's going to be a rout in the Navy, and Ilya's commander is in kind of a tough spot. He's got a torpedo upgrade on the way. I don't think that's going to save you against this many destroyers. He is going to lose his T2 HQ. Going to lose another naval yard. Last naval yard in the sights is going to be next to fall. Zillow moving in with what Navy he has. So I guess go for a distraction play, or to try and do what he can. It's not a lot though that he's going to be able to do with 6 frigates and a destroyer. The frigates are mopped up nearly instantly. The destroyer is forced to withdraw. I think that is going to be the end for Ilya here, as the torpedoes from the destroyers take aim and fire. And he drops down to 2k HP. Not going to finish that torpedo upgrade. He would have lost his base, potentially anyway. And that is going to be our first ejection in 19 minutes. Wow, that was a long time for our first ejection. So that kind of leaves the door open a little bit for Front Kohler to potentially take advantage of the vacated position there for Ilya. As we get a nice catch here from WSS, catches the Coronas as they're running away, and gets a good turn as well. Nicely played. And that'll be air superiority going towards team number one. So they do have that going for them. They do have the air game going for them right now. That's why we're seeing some torpedo bombers now getting dispatched to try and deal with these destroyers and these cruisers. And we now have some Valiant destroyers out from 3MP, so he's looking to help his buddies out a little bit in the ponds. I guess in the pond, or the ocean. He's on the island. Though I don't know. I guess you could call this a continent because of the size of the ocean. I digress wildly. But these destroyers are going to get caught by the Valiants. The first one will go down. And Naroki and Front Kohler, and Zillow's actually defeated there by the destroyers. I didn't actually see his commander in the water, so that's going to be a second player down for team number one, which is not good. Torpedo bombers are harassing the destroyers. We'll be able to mop up a couple of them, because they don't have great AA. Hopefully no cruisers come up. There are a lot of torpedo bombers inbound. It should be able to rout that Navy. And now we have the Gemini inbound as well. And the Coronas are kind of looking like the Luftwaffe in the Second World War towards the end. Not a whole lot of planes left. And I think the boats will die before, sorry, ships, not boats, will die before they can do any damage. Okay, this is what I was super excited about. So I have never seen a Continental be used as a ghetto gunship. And boss of this gym has 2 of them right now with T2 Navy out. They have air control, so I mean it kind of works. But I've never seen Continentals be used as ghetto gunships. And they actually do like okay damage. Like it's not fantastic, but like they're chewing through this destroyer pretty quickly. Until the shields drop and then the flak eviscerates all the labs. But hey, I mean it's just labs. And I guess those were just Continentals, but hey, I gave it a 10 for creativity. And he's not done. He's not done. He's got 2 land factories cranking labs, and he's got more of these bad boys getting ready. How many go on here? Is this like, oh man. 1, 2, oh, okay. I'm not gonna be able to count that. It looks to be about roughly 24 labs on a Continental, if I'm doing the math correctly. But this is really cool because 3MP is in trouble here, right? He's got Harbs, he's got Obsidians bearing down on him. Like this is not a good spot. This is not where you want to be. Meanwhile, Ghetto Gunship is, well, it's idle right now. Could come in and save the day. That might be a good like science video. Is this even worth it? Like, should you go just broadswords instead? Oh, as strats come in from WSS. Nice little shift G there. Eviscerates the rest of them. But look at that. Shields, nothing. You can't stop it. And it's protected from flak. I don't actually know how good the guns on the Continental are. But it's no joke for these Harbs. Like, those Harbs are taking a beating from it. Needs to go back and recharge his shields, but yeah, super cool creativity. Because there's another air fight that WSS is going to clean up here real quick. Diving after the strats. They will bag one. The other one will get away by the skin of its teeth. The second one coming out though. And what I was talking about earlier with team number 2 capitalizing on the 2 evictions is happening here. So Front Kohler and Naroki have airlifted engineers to that side of the map and are beginning to exploit that mass as strap bombers coming in, doing some good runs on some T2 mexes, shadowed by the Gemini. And this is what I think that Limousin should have done with that initial strat, is just have them keep running, like kind of shift queue them in a straight line. Oh, that's beautiful. Not gonna bag the 2 T3s, but that's beautiful placement. Nice attack round there. He's not done though. He's going. He's still going. Or nope, he's done. Nope, he's going back. I don't know what happened to my camera there. Going back, finishing off the T3 mexes there for Naroki. And Naroki just lost like a third of his total mass production from these strats. Limousin is going to come in and try and save the day here. It's not going to work. Meanwhile, on the main island, we got the ghetto gunships still going to town. Just taking out these Harbs. I can't believe that actually is working. He's got another one right here. Does he have more? He's got a third. Look at that. The Continental Ghetto Gunship. It's weird because you think of like a continental breakfast being like super cheap, but it's the Continental Ghetto Gunship that's actually really expensive. I'm also curious what their AA looks like. Maybe I'll do like a whole transport AA video, but this is not a good spot to go without shields. I don't know if he's power stalling. Yeah, he is power stalling. Badly. And it might not matter though. I don't think there are cruisers in this mix. There's just destroyers. There is a sub-hunter that could surface, a couple of sub-hunters that could surface, and they'd cause a lot of issues. But the T2 HQ will survive there for free MP, thanks to the Continental Ghetto Gunships and the Ravagers that he's dropped on the shoreline there. And looking back to kind of our middle point here. So Naroki going for T3 on his commander. Still working on this firebase. Got a lot of Cerberus and Flak Masters, or Burst Masters. Sorry, not Flak Masters. Might need to start thinking about some more TND though, as the cruise missiles are inbound. Therefore, boss of this gym. And these are governors that are spitting those out, so you're going to need a good amount of TMD to defend against them. And WSS is continuing to be a nuisance of himself. Front Caller needs to surface these sub-hunters. They've got pretty solid AA, and they're not doing anything if they're just underground or underwater, under the surface. As it is, though, the torpedo bombers can really have free reign there as the ghetto gunships come back in again. Chew up a couple more boats before they leave. Wow. And they have broken through in the middle. There are volcanoes that are getting set up. The OP volcano. Is this thing surfaced? No, I thought I saw it shooting. But Limadine is now going to get in with his ASF and clean out some of these torpedo bombers. Needs to be careful though. He's putting his Air Force in a bad position. It's all right engaged there for WSS. I think it could have been better. But boss of this gym actually now getting some wasps out as well. And Limadine is going to lose his Air Force once again. And now we just have empty Continentals joining the fight. And free MP is actually getting like a pretty sizable navy here. Is this all out of one naval factory? I think this is all out of one naval factory. That's kind of nuts. In the middle, I think they've gotten this whole tactical missile problem under control. And boss of this gym is actually going to move his cruisers to look for different targets of opportunity elsewhere. And T2 Navy there for WSS. WSS playing pretty well this game. Helping out on Navy, maintaining air control. Limadine has got quite the power grid set up here. It looks like an upside down T. I don't know if that's supposed to mean something. If he's trying to signal me something, what could T mean? Oh, T could mean the duelist. That's it. He's trying to signal me to cast this game. Well, I heard you loud and clear, buddy. I heard you, buddy. Oh, my camera. Bad camera work. Okay. The cliff's there. Not going to let me get a close-up of his face.
Strategic launch detected.
And we got a nuke from WSS. That is going straight for McNeil's base. There is no SMD here. There is an SMD halfway finished. And that's going to hurt McNeil there. McNeil's been kind of holding down the fort in the middle. We'll watch this bad boy go in. The beautiful Cybrid Singularity. Where is it? There it is. Kaboom. Yep, so that's going to hurt. Looking at McNeil's eco, so he's living off of borrowed power. And like I said, I'm from Texas. We tried to do that in the winter. It did not work. And this is actually going to be a bigger problem here. So McNeil is about to get a quad gunship sandwich there. Oh man, that's dirty. That's dirty. That is going to be it for McNeil. And I don't think his gunships are going to make it out of there. Coronas came in as well. WSS tangling with them. I can't really tell who's winning right now just because of the commander blast. And it looks like both players will withdraw though. That is going to be, I believe, the first player down for team number 2. So they've still got their crescent, so to speak. They've lost their player in the middle island, except for Naroki, but Naroki doesn't have a whole lot of infrastructure, just a fire base. And in the Navy, we've got destroyers making mincemeat of cruisers, and there's several renegades that are busy arguing about which one should be higher than the other. An experimental unit out from boss of this gym, so that's a fat boy. And there's a Soul Ripper bumping around here somewhere as well, if I remember where it is. Okay, there's that Soul Ripper. Built, completed by WSS right about the same time that nuke launched. So that Soul Ripper, gonna start ripping some souls, if you know what I'm saying. I'm really curious what the KDA is right now. Okay. Iconic's KDA is higher than I actually thought it would be. But I was expecting to see team number 1 with a pretty good KDA. So we'll keep an eye on this side. There's a huge, actually we'll go ahead and shift over to that. That boy is going to end up engaging on T2. Naval is moving in on the boss of this gym's naval facilities. That boy needs to be a little bit careful here. Can do a lot of work, as we're seeing. Frigates and cruisers already down. He needs to be careful with his commander though. And he needs to fix his power parameters. He is negative 4,000 energy. You need like 2 more of these. This is not a good time to build an Omni. So boss of this gym is now in trouble. Naroki has showed up with some grass and some water Pokemon, and I don't think an Onyx is going to do a whole lot for you there, buddy. Yep, I think he's done. I think he's done. Sub Hunters locked in. The Yatsaos. So that is 2 players versus 4 now. I think they still have air control. There is a bug moving in now on Limadine's base. Needs to get his ASFs in to protect it. Where is Limadine's? So Limadine's commander is right here. I'm probably pronouncing Limadine incorrectly. I don't care. Soul Ripper is gonna get its way through its shield. Go to work on that comm. Comm is running for cover. But either way, that would just be delaying the inevitable, and he's not going to make it to that shield anyway. Okay, Limadine defeated by WSS. And meanwhile, in the middle, Free MP has gotten an Atlantis up. and still has pretty good naval capabilities. Front Kohler was there too. Oh man, I did not see that. Okay, that's real bad for Team 2 now. That bug changed the entire game there. So now it's 2 versus 2. And you could say it's Navy versus Air, sort of. There is an Atlantis on the field. There are a lot of sub-hunters here for Iconics. And sub-hunters do trade pretty well with the Atlantis. Especially if you've got like 20 of them. Not sure what the sub-hunters are targeting right now. I think they're targeting the Atlantis, and now you're starting to see the HP just evaporate off of that experimental aircraft carrier. But really, who are we kidding? It's an experimental submarine. It's not really an aircraft carrier. And this is, I guess, kind of okay, because it's allowing all of the Valiants to kind of just pick these guys off one by one. All these things have huge amounts of damage. They don't have the greatest HP. They're T3 subs, and they have less HP than a lot of T2 units on the naval side do. And now we've got free MP moving his destroyers in front and letting the Atlantis fire from the back, which is probably the right thing to do here. It would help, though, if Iconics brought in this little force, but seems to be content with the sub-hunters doing what they're doing. We got another nuke out, and that is a danger close nuke on the Navy for Naroki and Iconics that is shelling WSS's base. And that's going to clean up pretty much all that Navy there. Except for a handful of ships there for Iconics on the outside. That's going to clean up a lot of Naroki's stuff. Free MP going for tsunamis to try and take out the Yathals. Subs usually do not trade super well with torpedo launchers, but in this case there's so many of them they can just kind of overwhelm them. Torpedo bombers are dispatched to attempt to deal with the rest of the boats that are off of WSS's shore. And that is a Fat Boy that has just been completed there for free MP. And I think that Fat Boy has one thing on the menu, and that is Naroki's commander here in the middle. I'm curious if I called that correctly. Well, it's close. It needs to be there. There, I fixed it for you. That Atlantis, though, this thing is taking a pounding. It's got 3 ranks of veterancy. That's a lot of sub-hunters that have gotten thrown away. And these tsunamis have been replaced as well. I think the last couple of sub-hunters are going to end up going down here. That's not ideal for Iconics' Navy. And looking at naval reinforcements as the bug is just kind of meandering its way around the map. There's a lot of counterintelligence boats and cruisers. I'm not seeing a whole lot of sub-hunters or destroyers or anything else that could deal super well with Atlantis. There's an aircraft carrier here. The aircraft carrier, though, does not have torpedoes or torpedo defense. Neither do these cruisers. So that Atlantis is just going to say thank you very much. I'll be here all week. This other one has been under construction for a while. I think he's moving in to finish it now. And the Fat Boy has made contact with Naroki's central base. Bug does get shot down by the plethora of SAMs here in the middle. Some Titans moving in from the east. Fat Boy is just content, though, to sit back, Bombard from afar. Needs to deal with. It would be helpful to deal with all these SAMs. You could get some gunships or something like that in. Titans, though, doing some work as well. Fortunately, they're not targeting the Cerberus turrets. They do go after the commander, though. And that's a good number of auto guns to throw up. The Titans just don't really seem to be super interested in attacking the commander right now. They seem more interested in attacking the engineers. As the Fat Boy runs headlong into Cerberus fire. I think the Titans should be able to mop this up, though. Unless he starts overcharging, which he just did. Yep, I take it back. They're not going to be able to mop it up. Fat Boy is going to have to come in and finish the job. But there is this little bouncer spam. Unfortunately, this is impassable, so WSS, he's safe in his base from land spam. Well, he might not be safe from bricks, though. So a couple of bricks from Naroki have kind of meandered in. There are some torpedo bombers that are harassing. But now let's see what happens with this commander. So, commander does have stealth. Does Free MP have a read on it? Not yet. Okay, there he goes. He sees it. His Titans are not going to make it, but there is a ton of torpedo bombers here from WSS. And Naroki is now stuck between a rock and a hard place. Can't survive in the water, can't survive out of the water. So now, the torpedo bombers should be moving in here. Well, stealth, I can't remember if... Does stealth make you... Stealth does make you invisible if you're in the water to torpedo bombers. That is handy there for Naroki. Saved his skin. All it takes is a spy plane, though, and there's a few of those coming over the top. Does need some more torpedo bombers, though. So we'll see what Naroki wants to do there. WSS actually going for teleporter right now. So could be going for a telemaser. Well, I don't really think he needs to. Well, I don't know. Iconics is looking pretty... Well, he looks big because he's got a lot of T3 anti-air, but he has a pretty healthy eco as well, I guess. But there are now 2 Atlantises. A third is on the way, halfway complete. One of those is the original Atlantis that is still alive. As the Fat Boy murders Naroki's incoming reinforcements. And they're starting to get some more sub-hunters out towards the front lines now. So 2 of them going to work on that forward Atlantis. Might need to spread those out a little bit. So that they're not going in one at a time. One by one by one by one by one. The teleporter's going up pretty quick there for WSS. And that is a third Atlantis now done for Free MP. Yes, it is very strong against naval subs. So, 2 Atlantis, both at about 50% HP. They're doing okay. They've killed a lot of these Yassaos, but they need a critical mass, so I think all 3 of them need to get down here and deal with this. Fat Boy is also going to help out with these mermaids that are hanging out next to the sub-hunters. And, oh, this is passable. Okay, I did not know that. That does not look passable. But anyway, we've got bouncers now moving in. as well as a T3 engineer for WSS. But this is really where kind of the hammer meets the anvil. It's all about how these Atlantises deal with everything. Although he's sending them in at one at a time. I don't like that. I think he needs all three. He needs to just move in, crush, and go for it. Where is WSS's commander? Did WSS's commander already teleport? WSS. Calm. Nope, right here. Okay. He does have laser though. Alright. So I'm gonna have to pay attention here. He has not activated it. Let's look at tele-defense. So Naroki's comm is in the water, so that's safe from telemaser. Iconic's commander is where? Is it also in the water? No, it's right here. In a very dangerous position, right next to a bunch of power generators. So that could be a good choice there for WSS. He needs to go though, and he's building a couple more shields to deal with all of the tactical missiles that are coming in from Iconic's fleet. So I think this is a sooner rather than later kind of thing, buddy. Zapper's doing their best. You have another nuke? No, you don't have another nuke yet. Meanwhile, the three Atlantises are still kind of just bumping around here in the bay. I'm really concerned that I'm gonna miss WSS teleporting, and then I will be sad, and then you guys will be sad, and then everybody's sad, and nobody's happy, and that's just sad. He's going for a monkey, actually. Just teleport and kill Iconics. Teleport and kill Iconics. Do you know he's there? Calm, orange. Yes, he does. Let's go, baby, go, baby, go. He's going. He's going in. Right there. Ba-bam. Hello, friend. Iconics is down for the count. Now WSS is teleporting to... unknown. Going back home, I think? I'm not sure. I'm not sure where WSS is going. I don't see the circle in his base. But now Naroki wants a little piece of the action here. And is going to go for laser. And WSS, I think he just clicked somewhere on the map. It's like, where do you want to go? I don't care. Away from here. Navy, though, from Naroki is going to get mopped up. WSS has another Soul Ripper up. Naroki is going to go for a teleporter here. Is WSS teleporting again? Nope. Okay. So, the Atlantis just need to go south. Just grab them, send them south. And then you win. Alright, let's see if they found the comm. Yep. Comm, question mark. You would be correct. Okay, so he's going for teleporter. Unfortunately, he's underwater, so you're going to need either the Atlantis or torpedo bombers. Assuming Naroki doesn't just give up. Incidentally, free MP is getting some tele defense. That's very wise. And I think WSS is just going to hang out in the water and is not going to go for tele defense. So Naroki is going for the Hail Mary. Could even this up, make it a 1v1. Exciting. He has some support commanders, actually. WSS actually looking to TP over here and just get rid of this nuisance once and for all. He's gotten real tired of Naroki's BS over there. Alright, teleporter is done. Is he gonna go somewhere? Let's see. WSS's comm is in the water. You gonna do it? Come on, man. Crapper, get off the pot. Okay, well, his only option is free MP for even doing damage, and free MP is in tele defense with a shield on his comm. Bright side though, the Atlantis are now moving south, so that is good. They decided to fly south for the winter. Sorry, float south for the winter. I don't want to miss another comm kill. And then I'm going to be sad if that happens. Fat Boy is going to mop up the expansions here for Naroki. I think this game is pretty much over. Naroki doesn't have a good win condition, I don't think. He's not at T3 Navy. I don't think he is at T3 Air. Getting lots of point defense. Prepare himself for the incoming telly. Fat Boy is going to mop this up. Atlantis are going to push in. Hope to speed up a little bit. Because I just want to see what Naroki does with this teleporter. Okay, he's going. He's going. Where is he going? Is he going for free MP? He is going for free MP, but he's coming in the water. I don't quite know why. Alright. Well. He's gonna make landfall. And he's gonna valiantly try. And he will get destroyed. Good game, guys. Like I said, never seen ghetto gunships with Continentals before. I have no idea if that's efficient or not. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys enjoyed the cast. I always have super fun. I always have a lot of fun doing these casts. So any replays that you guys submit, they will be reviewed by either myself or another caster. There's probably about 3 or 4 of us that check that channel, check that chat. So definitely keep sending your replays in. Just please, 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 for the love of God, check them for desyncs. Do not set up, do not send in replays and then have them desync and then leave me with, I don't know where I was going with that, but make me sad because I can't cast a desynced game. Anyway, I'm going to stop yammering. Really hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.